What's up, and welcome to the Los Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Eslam, aka Rock God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan, Papa Sun Killer, and Dan, Emperor Disco. Welcome back. How y'all fellas doing?
Doing good. Good to be here. Just a quick question. Is it supposed to say Fall of House of Usher?
No, it's not.
I changed it.
No, it still says it's the Full House of Usher.
I swear I changed it.
I
They
believe
lied
you.
to you.
I believe you.
Let me see if it'll update
I just
again.
want to put that out there. We'll check it out on the Twitch.
Yeah, it
Or the
says
Twitch
title
kids.
Invincible Season 2.
The Twitch kids should have it right. I know. We changed that ahead of time. We should be fine. We'll be fine.
Whatever, man.
Guess what? If you came here to find out about the Fall House of Usher, just check out our last video. I shit all over it.
Yeah, go check out the YouTube. It's up, it's running, it's beautiful. You know?
We do
Oh,
have disco
Disco-
popping up from time to time. Just be like, it's not working. I can't talk.
Well, actually, I did cut a bunch of that out. So, yeah.
That's
I
another
had
reason
to,
I felt
'cause-
so bad because I was just like every 2 seconds I'm like, and then you
I
guys
loved
like,
it.
"Ugh."
I loved it. I was just like,
For YouTube, I was just like, let me clean this
Yeah.
up because I don't know. It's just like most people wouldn't have watched through it. But
yeah, no, it makes sense.
well, Socks guy's back. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Jack?
Jack? There we go. That's
Hey,
Yeah,
sucks,
thanks for checking it out again.
Jack Spade. Can't wait till that shit comes back. Hopefully.
Great show.
Yes.
He's seen it. He's a
Oh,
wrestling.
Jack, you saw,
He knows heels. He knows heels.
you saw, but you saw though. Did you?
Start a petition? We need to come back. I need a
We
final
really need
season
heels to
at
come
least.
back on something.
I
man.
know, we need-
HBO somewhere.
Yeah,
At
it
least
should
the
definitely go
final
to
season.
HBO.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to continue that cliffhanger there.
But that's not what we're here to talk about either. I know I threw us on a curveball there, but we're gonna come back to home base. We're gonna talk about Invincible season 2.
No, I'm not watching Dynamite. I'm here doing this. Missing wrestling. You know, they got a really good tournament going on, but I'm over here
Yeah.
doing the podcast.
By saw what I meant Heels, the show on Stars that got
I think
canceled.
you said that you saw heels. I could be wrong, Jack. I'm just giving
You
you
out
credit
here
at this
lying,
point.
Dan, bro?
Hey, maybe I am. I want to say Jack and I talked about it. Jack knows his wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, you out here lying and shit.
man, he saw toes. He didn't see heels.
I did not know where you're going for a second.
He saw gout on toes.
If it's Gout, that's starring you, Eslam.
It is starring
Nobody
me.
know how Gout. Nobody know
Dude,
how Gout
actually,
works.
speaking of gout,
No,
Oh,
quick little side note.
no,
not-
Disco,
come
not
on,
you
too young
too.
for this.
I went to the doctor's and he took a blood test, and I was laughing when I saw the results. He's like, "You have high,
Uric acid.
like you're like higher than normal, I guess, uric acid levels."
Yeah.
And I've never had a gout attack, so I'm just
Yeah.
like, "Don't fucking put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby." I'm like, after all these years making fun of you, it's like full circle. I'm following
Damn,
your
bro,
footsteps.
don't do it. Don't.
Next episode, I'm gonna be bald. I'm gonna come in just like.
You're gonna be my twin next episode.
I hate the fact that it's called a gout attack. That sounds so much more serious than it should
it's
be.
it's not called a gout attack.
Okay.
I didn't remember what it was called before. It's a
Okay.
flare up.
It's a flare, yeah.
Yeah, it's a gout flare up. Yeah.
It's a gout attack. Just it charges.
Gout attack. It's like a Pokemon. It's like Pikachu. Do the gout attack. Just sends a thunderbolt
yeah.
to your big toe.
So yeah, that had me dying, and I thought I'd tell you. And
Yeah.
don't get old, children. We need to have a don't get old episode.
Like for me, like beans and stuff are worse for me than
I
the
fucking hate you.
the
guys
red
so
meat.
much. You guys say so much weird shit. I hate you. I hate you so much.
I was reading that it's
I don't
like,
like my feet getting wet because then I get a cold.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's
beans
true.
are bad for me. I'm getting a gout attack. You guys suck.
yeah. I was
Shut
reading
up,
that
bro.
we-
You lost your kneecaps a
sure.
long time ago, son.
Yeah, that's not about being old. That's just being I don't know, living wrong. I'm just not doing life correctly.
Yes, so
was-
are we. This
was
is a
lifting
diet
his
issue.
knees.
Oh man.
Wow. Back to the main topic at hand, though.
Yeah. Invincible season 2.
Invincibles.
The main villain of the season is Gout. No,
Watch
but
those uric acid levels.
yeah. What if there's a supervillain that just like shoots you with uric acids and everybody just gets gout on their toes and they can't walk?
He'd probably
That
beat
feels like
everybody because
such a one of those like B-level Batman villains, like Condiment Man
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
Condiment King rather.
Yeah. Gout
he's gonna
master.
get Flash in the middle of Flash running. He's just like, flare up, ah! You
Yo,
see him just
yeah.
like just barrel
I don't
roll through
think
like buildings.
I honestly don't think the Flash could ever get gout. He would just metabolize it too quickly.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I just thought of because my mind is weird. What if there was a team of superhero like old people just called the AARP and then stood for something?
Yes. Yes. That's us.
Nobody steal that idea.
We are the AARP, bro.
What would
Now
that
we got to
stand
come
for?
up with a name for that acronym.
Yeah. Oh,
The
man.
the
I'm calling
amazing.
it. I'm coming out on a wheelchair. I'm tired of walking.
Oh shit.
Got
Oh,
busted
somebody just
feet.
has an IV pole just walking.
Slow down,
It's
boy.
just liquid IV. Oh
Oh
fuck.
god. And their sidekick is like a nurse's aide. But no, we're talking about Invincible.
The strongest hero should have Alzheimer's, and like multiple times throughout the episodes, they have to keep
Where
reminding him,
am
like,
I?
what are we doing?
Oh fuck.
Oh
That's
god. This
definitely
isn't the
me.
golf course.
That's definitely me. Whew. The AARP.
Back to the fall of House Usher.
Oh, this fucking show.
Oh my
We
goodness. We're
gotta,
off
we
to a
gotta,
great
we
fucking
gotta.
start.
Let's talk about Invincible.
That'd be funny if we spent half the episode talking about everything but Invincible.
Our Invincible review is like 2 minutes.
Guys, it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. Omni Man's back. He has a brother. Let's go. Deuces.
Check it out.
um,
I'm ready for season 3, season 2, part 2.
yeah, apparently I didn't know that
Yeah,
they're
Eslam
on
thought
it.
that was the whole first season.
No, I didn't think it was a whole first season.
Oh
I
my
was
bad.
just waiting for
Oh no, you
episode
thought there was more
5.
episodes coming. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I just didn't know there was going to be a break.
yeah.
Yeah, I was actually confused when you brought it up this week. I was like, did it finish? I had to
No,
like
it's
double
just
check. I was like, wait a
yeah,
minute, hold up. And then I saw that there was going to be a break. So I was like, oh, perfect.
yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, seriously though. Invincible
I
season
love how he
2,
says seriously though, just giggles to himself right after.
part 1. First 4 episodes of Invincible coming out with a bang. I truly missed this show, and I waited not to watch the Alice Eve, right? No,
Adam.
Adam Eve.
There it
Where
is.
did I get Alice Eve from?
I was gonna let you fight your way through that.
Alice in Wonderland. I
I
think
don't
you
know.
combined
Whatever.
like multiple shows.
Adam
Multiple-
Eve. That movie about her past and how she was created and stuff. So I waited right before they released Invincible season 2 episode 1, and then I jumped in and watched that, and then jumped into episode 1 of Invincible.
Mm.
First of all, that Adam Eve movie was fantastic. Love how she was created in the not in the lab, but her mom was pregnant and they did some tests on her to become like the most powerful weapon, and she is super fucking powerful,
Oh yeah.
because she can like change the molecular composition of any inanimate object,
Mhm.
and they actually had to put a limiter on her not to be able to change organic matter, or else she would
Yeah.
have been unstoppable. She
Yeah.
would have been able to kill Omni Man in a second, like flat.
And then bring him back if you felt like it.
Turn him into a fucking poodle,
Yeah.
the Omni Poodle.
Mhm.
But
strong ass poodle.
yeah, but
Built
it
to
was
my poodle.
it was a really good movie though. I really enjoyed it. And then jumping into Invincible, first episode they're back. They're still grieving about what happened with Omni Man. Invincible still kind of dealing with all his emotions about all those people that died in Chicago, and uh they go through that, and then he's still trying to be a hero, trying to make up for what happened, and then uh what Cecil, right? That's his name, Cecil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cecil
Yeah.
is like, all right, I'll you can work for me. He didn't want him at first, and then I think the crazy thing is I did not expect Invincible to do this at all, which is do a multiverse. Um, I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was just gonna be
Hmm.
but they pulled the multiverse out, and I was like, oh shit, it's about to
Okay.
go down. And then they show you one Earth where Mark and
Omni Man.
Omni Man is they're working together and they're taking over Earth, and and all the those blue doctors, I forget his name, the twins.
Oh man.
Oh, the
The
clones.
Yeah, the
fuck.
clones.
What are they? Yeah, I'll look it up because that's gonna kill me.
And then you had the black guy whose ability was to travel between the multiverse and collect all
Oh, they're
variations of
the Mauler
himself,
twins.
the Mahler twins,
Yep.
and collect all the variations of himself and try to um, try to make sure that Omni Man and Invincible don't succeed in all the other universes, and deal with this Viltrumite infestation, I guess, or um,
Takeover.
galactic empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last episode of the part one of Invincible, we find out that Omni Man had a kid with an insect race and I was just like, how does that even fucking
I
work?
was very much looking forward to this part. I remember like reading this in the comics, and it blew my mind when I got to this. I was like, oh man, and I never finished the Invincible series. I got a little bit past this, so I
Yeah.
know like kind of like where it goes to like the next part. But I was waiting for this. As soon as I saw like that race of people, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's go. I'm
Because
very
I'm
excited.
sorry, I'm gonna get a little weird right now because it's like, how does that even happen, right? Because
Here we
like
go.
they're
You're gonna do one of your
bugs,
things.
and
How
bugs,
could a spaceship not land in a storm?
because bugs usually lay eggs,
He
Mhm.
right?
like busted on the egg. He's
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was
Yeah,
ah,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, he like
just sprinkled the seed.
but it's interesting because then I'm just like, all right, so the Viltrumites are the Asari of this universe, so like they can have children with anybody in the universe.
I like to think of them as the Reapers, but yeah, understand that.
Sure, sure. I'm talking
Yeah,
about just that they're able to procreate with anybody, any
yeah. No, I get what you're
species.
saying. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's interesting and it's pretty cool. Happy birthday, Henry.
my birthday. Henry.
Someone's rapping
It's
you.
not even that. It's Disco's reaction that got me laughing. It's like he's paused, turned around, looked back, and then chuckles.
Just
um,
my wife stealing everything I own.
um, yeah. So that was very interesting, and it's just like I had the thought of why, since they like the Asari, since they can have um like children with anybody,
Mhm,
but they're not like taking over the world, like the galaxy. They're
mhm.
kind of like just learning what they can and they're bringing it back
Yeah,
to home base.
yeah,
Where the Viltrumites are, they're like, all right, we're gonna purge the weak Viltrumites from our
yeah.
own society with this fucking civil war, and whoever's left is gonna go out and conquer everything, and they're fucking practically immortal.
Mhm,
If they're not killed, they can just live for a long time, and the longer they live, the stronger they get, and that's wild.
yeah.
It's
And
crazy they have rules too to like
yeah,
regulate. Like you can't have like a baby outside of like a Viltrumite looking race. Like
Yeah,
they really are
yeah,
smart.
humanoid race, yeah.
yeah.
They're just like looking for that strongest recipe.
What always got me was that you have to have like a mustache.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah,
I remember that from the comics. I was like, this is hilarious. Like every Viltrumite male has a mustache.
that's
It's like
funny.
that's priority.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all. Mark just
yeah.
needs to grow one, and it'll be fine. Everything will be okay.
He'll get like a power up. It's the regalness. Regal.
And it was interesting seeing Omni Man telling Mark to stop holding back,
Hmm.
and I wonder if he ever is gonna let go. So he's kind of like Superman, where he checks himself, and
Hmm.
so I'm wondering if he will let go against the other Viltrumites, and if he ever will actually kill. So I'm
Hmm.
interested to see where they take his character at. Tell me what you guys think.
I think he's definitely going to have to get pushed to his limits. They're already poking at it with this pat, like with that fight that you just mentioned, where she's
Hmm.
fighting that lady with the like knife in her hair.
Yeah.
he kind of already saw that he has to like kind of always be at like 10, perfect fighting to keep up with these people. Any weakness, they're going to take advantage, and she did take advantage. He had beat her, and then she he took
Yeah.
that hesitation, and that's what all it took for him to just get stabbed in the gut, like, and the and even Omni Man, like I feel like the bond between him and Mark is weakness to the Viltrumite eyes because
Yeah.
and it kind of is. It shows it reflects it too because when he like was trying to give Mark like a pep talk, he's like, "Hey, you got to do this, 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 and that kind of distracted him when the other dude came out and like drop kicked him from like a mile away.
Yeah.
um,
While
so
holding the insides of his stomach.
so in a way they're right. Like these affections for these kids and all that the emotional aspect is weakening him. But at
Mhm.
the same time, they did kind of kick their
Yeah.
asses. So it's
I
almost
mean,
equal.
Yeah.
it weakens you, but at the same time, it's like you have more to fight for.
Yeah. True.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
So
So
I
it
feel
is
like
what it
that's
is.
a fun dance that they're kind of playing with.
No, don't put me on the big screen. Take me off here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk more.
He looked like he was gearing up to say
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I was like, all right, he finished off your point. He's like, all right, he's gonna jump into his now, his
No,
reaction and shit.
no, you
So,
good.
oh, all right. I guess you're not talking this first
No, I
episode.
got you. No, I mean, I don't want to talk. Now you take me off. Okay. No, I just wanted to say, I don't want to say too much. Like I said, I've read some of the comics. I kind of
Okay.
know where we're going from there. I don't want to say too much. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Where you feel like he is, weakened, because of like all the emotional stuff. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to see where we go from there. I don't know if you guys are aware, but like the Invincible comic was such a huge thing. Like when Kirkman was writing it, that like they created their own universe out of it. Like there was different books like for other superheroes and teams and stuff like that. They end up getting their own series as well.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, so it's like the entire Invincible universe continued. So
Oh,
we have
I
all that
really
stuff.
also enjoyed that half episode of Alan. That
Yeah,
that
Alan the
was
Alien.
fantastic. That
Yeah,
was fantastic. I love that
with
shit
like
so much.
Seth Rogen like
Yeah,
doing the
yeah.
voice. It's like it's just awesome.
It was so
I
funny.
really yeah, I really like Alan the Alien. Like I always liked his backstory,
Yeah,
where it's just kind of just like he's like the one like supreme like fighter of his race,
yeah.
and then you got the whole situation where it's just like he would fight. I think they said this in the first season, right? I remember in the comics, unless I'm misremembering, where he would go and then he would fight Omni Man like once a year, once every couple of years, or something like that. And then that's why when like Omni Man did what he did, or he disappeared or whatever, and then you just had Mark. He was just like, "What the fuck?" And then he's just like, "Oh no, you're cool. I didn't know. We could be cool."
Yeah,
I was like,
it
"You have
feels
this
like
battle with
they
somebody like every
Yeah.
couple
yeah.
years or whatever."
I think they said they mentioned at the end of the first season.
That's
When
what it
they were
was.
on the
Okay.
moon,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
because he was
yeah
supposed to fight
yeah
Omni Man, but Omni Man was doing whatever the fuck he was
Yeah.
doing. Then
yeah
Mark showed
exactly
up, and then
yeah.
yeah, like you said, they're like, did we just become best friends?
Yeah, no, that's cool. There was a couple things like there were some things that happened in so they kind of just like bypassed the whole like Mark he's in college and it's like literally like day 1 or day 2 he's like
Yeah.
going off into space and going to this other
Yeah.
planet. In the comic, there was a lot that happened in college on campus. Like there was this whole like conspiracy theory of like stuff going on. There was like I
I
think they
wonder
did
if
it
they're
in
gonna bring
season
that
1.
back a little bit.
Well, I think they because it's not exactly one for one how the comic was. Like they changed
Yeah.
stuff around. In season 1, did they do the whole like there was like robots that were like taking over people, like dead
Yes.
people or something like that. So that happened in college in the comics.
Ah. Okay.
So it's like they moved some stuff around here and there, I guess, to try to
Yeah.
fit
There was a guy
this
that
movie.
was like kidnapping people and turning them into robots or some
Yeah,
shit
I
like
I
that.
could be completely wrong. I mean, I'm talking when I read this stuff years ago. I mean, years ago. So
Yeah.
from what I remember, that was happening to students on campus at the
Ah.
college, and
Okay.
then he was kind of like, trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And then at the end of also episode 4, Omni Man gets his back broken, supposedly, and then
Yeah,
they take him and they're like,
he
"We're
got hit with the
gonna,"
Mike Tyson.
yeah, and then
A mean ass drop kick with his whole intestines hanging out.
yeah,
That was crazy.
I
He
love it.
said, "Make sure you kill your opponent." His whole body is just like dangling. That
Um,
was crazy.
damn, that was a good one, Dan.
Thank
Good
you,
shit.
thank you.
Props.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Um, shit. So
Yeah,
yeah, he got his back broken.
yeah.
Um, and they took him, and he was like, well, he's going to be executed, and you're going to go take his post on Earth
Yeah,
and do what he was supposed to do. And if we come there
yeah,
and they're not ready to surrender, we're going to kill more people.
exactly. So help me God, Mark Grayson. If we come back and you don't have a fucking mustache,
I will fuck you up.
It was
yeah,
interesting the way he proposed it, though. He was like, kill a couple thousand and like prove your point, or like if we come back and you haven't like done what you had to do, we're gonna like take the whole planet. So it's
We'll
like,
kill millions. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, more the morality of it all kind of like sets in. It's like, damn, they're
yeah.
gonna view him as the evil person, and
It's
even
kind of
having
like,
1,000 people on your conscience is
well, it's
pretty
kind of
wild.
like the thing. Do you save the one person instead of the many, or do you let that one person die to save the many?
No, it
Right?
always
Like
brings me
we've.
back to that one DLC mission in Mass Effect One with the Batarians, or Mass Effect Two, was it?
What are the
Uh,
Batarians again?
they were a race that nobody like really they didn't give them too much credit. Anytime they showed up, like they're bad guys. I was like, they're giving them a bad rep. But like the Batarians, they had wars with humans a lot. And
Mm.
there's one particular mission where you find out the Reaper's gonna get there like really soon, and
Oh,
then it's
right.
like they're gonna show up through a mass relay that's like right by this one Batarian home base, and it's just like you could destroy this mass relay and stop the Reapers. Like you could delay them from coming a little bit more, but destroying that mass relay is going to destroy this entire planet filled with Batarians and a whole bunch of people
Oh,
with like
right,
Batarian
right.
outposts. And it's like, or you could let them survive, but now you have the Reapers that are coming after the whole,
Yeah, yeah.
universe. So it's like
I
you have to make a
forgot what I
decision.
did. I remember that, but I forgot if I destroyed it or not.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things. Where it was like, hey, not every Batarian is here,
Yeah,
so
that's
Knowing
true.
me,
let's go ahead
knowing
and
me,
do
I
it.
just let them die. I probably didn't even know about
You
it.
probably let the Reapers show up and blew up the planet somehow. The way you played
I
Mass
got
Effect
it.
was insane.
Oh fuck, that
At
was
the
I
end,
good.
was
Shepard
dumb
turns
back
into a
then.
Reaper. He just
I,
morphs into a giant ship. He's like, I'm a Reaper now.
Oh lord.
That's a
I'm
great game.
surprised I even made it to the end. Like,
Oh
Uh,
man.
but all right. So I guess Disco and I will talk about this a little bit since you've read the comics. Disco, what do you think is gonna happen in the next 4 episodes?
ooh.
Like, do you
Um,
think Omni Man is gonna? Well, he's got taken. So, one, do you think Mark is gonna go try to save his dad? Two, is Mark gonna take his brother back home and be like, "Hey, mom, this is my half brother from a fucking bug mom that dad had another pet." You know what I mean? And it's just like that's just gonna be a very interesting dynamic because it's like obviously he needs to protect his brother. The mom only lives for like what, a day, a week, or I forgot, or like a year.
That's like a really short
really, it's
Yeah,
like a
duration.
bug lifespan, which makes sense. They look like
Yeah.
yeah.
bugs.
So it's a very short lifetime, and that kid is he gonna be? How fast is he gonna grow? Right? Because he's
Yeah.
supposed to grow pretty quickly. Because
That's what
he's
I said. It's like it's slower. I mean, it's slower than like the bug's lifespan, but it's still
yeah, pretty
quick
fast.
compared to like a human or a Viltrumite or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder if by like the time he gets back to Earth, the kid's like 7, 8. That would be funny. Um,
I feel like Mark is just the good guy. I feel like somehow he is gonna have to save his father. Um, I don't know exactly how, but
yeah, going to like what, the Viltrumite home planet and getting,
especially by himself, he could barely handle that one chick, and then you're gonna handle a
yeah.
whole like army, little fleet of them or whatever. So it seems like a suicide mission. I think he's gonna have to squad up. Um, I don't know exactly with who. Maybe Adam Girl or something. Maybe put her to good use. I don't know,
Well,
but
why
I
at
think
the same time it's like, how's he gonna convince, if he is gonna take other heroes? How's he gonna convince them to save Omni Man? Is he gonna be like, well, this time he'll actually help us against the Viltrumites,
Mhm.
like because he
oh,
saved
that's
this other
true.
planet? Like, so
I mean,
he has a lot
is
of
he gonna do it to
convincing to
save
do.
Omni Man, or is he doing it just to save Earth?
True. It's like, all right, let's just go destroy them, and then maybe we can save Omni Man, maybe we don't. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But either way, we got to take the fight to them.
Even if he doesn't like save his father, like he still has like a pretty big plate. Like on his Viltrumite rule on Earth. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely don't see him destroying like another Chicago or like big city. Like, I just don't. He barely wanted to kill the enemy that in that one fight we were talking about. Like, I definitely don't see him leveling a city just to make a point. But I'm really curious where it's going. I mean, I always love this show. I love the clones. I wonder how they're gonna get tied in.
Oh,
I
and we
love
still
how I
have.
loved at the end how like the one clone got burnt, so he's like, "There's this is proof. I'm the original," and then he
Yeah.
just killed his ass, and it's like gonna create that clone dynamic again.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
I always like
There.
the Mauler dynamic was always fun to me.
The other thing I can think of now, it's like I completely forgot, is we have the multiverse in place, so he can find other marks
Oh,
that are
true.
sympathetic like him
I
to go
mean,
fight.
let's just say like if there's certain multiverses where Mark is evil, maybe there's certain multiverses where Viltrumites are good.
Oh,
Maybe he gets like another
very
Omni
true.
Man too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Very, very true.
any hey
That is a
multiverse,
big
anything
possibility.
anything can happen in
But
the
then it's
multiverse.
like, how's he going to travel to the multiverse? Is he going to take that? I forget the character's name, the black guy that can
Yeah, I
travel
can't
through the
remember his name.
multiverse.
The guy with the
Is he
head.
going to help him? Because that guy doesn't want to help him. He wants to kill him. And maybe he'll go try to kill all the marks.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh,
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
it's a great story.
Yeah.
Invincible is just very entertaining. There's some things that you guys had mentioned where it's just like I'm be honest, you might have nailed that's coming up soon or it's going to come up
Yeah,
soon. I was like, man, I
yeah.
can't wait till we get to that point. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to the rest of the show. Like it makes me want to go back and read it. If I have the time, I might actually go back and do it. I might even start it from the beginning because I did enjoy my time with Invincible
Yeah.
and see if I can get past it because I really didn't get too far into the series like I wanted to.
Okay.
What other loose ends are there? Like there was Cecil. He was there. He found like his old glasses. That kind of like happened there too.
I mean,
Well, that
there's
wasn't
that.
Cecil. That
That
was
was the other guy,
like their
like
version of
Abe or some
Coulson.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Some the
but
glasses.
you
Literally
Yeah.
you
their
have
version of
that.
Coulson.
Yeah,
Cecil's the white hair guy. Okay,
yeah. We have
Um,
that. We have what's going on with this new team they're putting together. Like they're
Yeah.
still trying to become a team. There's the sort of relationship between Robot and Monster Girl where
Yeah.
they're like trying to date, but like
oh yeah.
they're destined to fail, like because of like their conditions and everything, especially
Yeah.
Monster Girls. What's Adam Eve doing now that she's had this moment where she thought she was doing the right thing, and turns
Yep.
out by her not following like certain protocols or whatever, like she caused tragedy. So it's like there's a
Illegitimate
lot.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. Like there's still so much. There's other villains that are still going to keep popping up too. You know, like you have that guy who's in living in the underworld or whatever, and he showed up with like the rock people like early on in the season. So I was like, there's so much that could happen. Like there's still a lot of story to tell. What's going on with Alan, the alien, and then the
Yeah, because he
people, the
didn't
group of
die.
people he's
So
working with. Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
have the guy who's like the head of that council or whatever, like betraying him. Like
yeah,
there's so much
There
story.
really is so many like loose ends. There's so
Yeah,
anything could happen this next four
yeah,
episodes, and that's pretty exciting.
yeah,
I they props to Stephen Yoon and J.K. Simmons, man. They kind of
yeah.
bring Mark and Nolan alive. They
Well,
really bring
J.K.
that
Simmons
life.
is the best, bro.
J.K.
Yeah,
Simmons is
well,
awesome,
yeah.
and he's
Speaking
the
of
voice of Omni Man in the Mortal Kombat game too. Love it.
nice.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
Speaking of
funny.
J.K. Simmons, I've been playing Spider Man. Um, And I love J. Jonah Jameson, bro. Like his little radio things and his assistant that he fires and rehires like every couple minutes, and
yeah,
he gets so mad at the people when they praise Spider Man. It's the funniest shit ever. I love it.
yeah. That
Uh,
does not go away in the other games.
I
I'll tell you,
can't
when we
wait
get
to
to
hear
Miles and
more.
Spider Man 2, yeah, Jonah's still very much there.
Yeah, I love it. Can't wait. All right. Final thoughts about Invincible season 2, part 1.
Looking forward to more. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm ready for the second half already.
Does anybody know when it's coming out?
I think January. I
All right,
think
that's
there's
not
like
that
a
far
winter
off.
Sounds
break
about right.
type thing.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, honestly, like this is quality writing, and like I said, Stephen Yoon, I love him from Walking Dead. He's just been amazing in this show as well. J.K. Simmons, Spider Man,
The
he's
Walking
just
Dead.
he's just a legend in himself. He could do any character, and I'm sure it'd be
You
gold.
that's a A connection I did not realize that you just brought that up. Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead, and then Robert Kirkman, the writer of Invincible and The Walking Dead.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense. That's
yeah.
totally cool. I did
Because
not
remember,
put that together.
Kirkman wrote Invincible first, and it was like this big hit. And then he's like, "Hey, I want to write this story about zombies."
Nice.
Damn it!
But
I
yeah.
see the comment that Jack put in there. It's like that was damn. All right,
Spoilers.
well, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't even know what the main. I'm assuming it was like one of the matches. I'll figure it out.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking of wrestling, Dan, you had some wrestling
I got some
stuff.
wrestling news I need to talk about.
Yes, you do.
So yeah,
Perfect
so
segue. Thank you,
yeah,
Jack.
thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. And Jack is well adversed in what's happening here. So well versed, I mean. So basically, one of the biggest things that happened in wrestling in the past decade occurred. Let me go ahead, get my stuff ready, start sharing my screen.
Did Vince McMahon get fired again?
That's that's a really big one too. Let's see, let's do that, and let's go over here. Okay, okay. Just so you guys are aware, he put in what the main event was, and I did know that main event: Copeland versus Cage, Edge versus Christian,
Oh, okay.
essentially. So you guys know that's kind of a big deal, and it was for the TNT Championship, I believe. So yeah, definitely don't spoil it, Jack. I'm gonna see if I could try to, at the very least, catch that match before I go to sleep. What was I doing? Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay,
No, he's just chanting
and sure.
CM Punk in the in the chat.
And look what I got going on there. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack. So, one of the biggest things that happened in the past decade has occurred. CM Punk has returned to the WWE. Um, it's a huge fucking deal. So basically, I've talked about it on the podcast a couple times. Punk, he was gone for years. He had his issues with WWE. He wanted to see a doctor because he was injured. WWE doctors kept saying you're okay. Turns out he needed some type of surgery. He was pissed at WWE. He walked out during one of the shows. Um, Turns out that they gave him his papers and let him know he was fired on the day of his wedding. Uh, he
Wow,
did
that's fucked
the
up.
oh
That's
yeah
cold. That's
yeah
terrible.
the what's called
They
that
did
was
that on
going on.
purpose.
Who's to say? But yeah, so there was that. He went on Colt Cabana's podcast, said everything he had to say. Years later, he and Colt Cabana have a falling out. They try suing each other. WWE's doctor at the time tried to sue Punk or counter. So I forgot what it was, but Punk and Cabana did win that case. After all that, CM Punk moves to AEW. He goes on there. It's this great return. Like, oh my God, Punk's in Chicago. He's in AEW. He's back in wrestling, and it's not a WWE company. I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. Then he has the issues with Kenny Omega, the Bucks, the Elite. He goes away, comes back, has his issue with Jack Perry, gets fired by Tony Khan. It's like just so much has gone
Yeah.
around Punk. It's like Punk is such a controversial person. And at the same time, it's just like, but he's so fucking compelling to watch. Like
Yeah.
he's such a good wrestler. He's so good on the mic. And yeah, we talk about controversial. I can't think of many more people that are more controversial than Punk, but it's just so much happens. But anyway, we had our Survivor Series pay per view, where main event was War Games. They had two War Games matches. For those of you that don't know, War Games is two wrestling rings attached together, one big ass cage over both of them, 5 against 5, sometimes 4 against 4. Teams fight, and we see which team comes out on top. Women's War Games started off the match, in my opinion, probably match of the night. Just they kicked ass. It was amazing. Io Sky, formerly known as Io Shirai, she yes, Punk's epic failure in the UFC. Don't forget that. We all know that one. But yeah, no, Io Shirai, she put herself in a trash can, jumped off the top of the cage. Second time she's done that. She did it in NXT first. And anyway, the main event of men's War Games happens. We go out there. The good guys win. They show up like the trademark logo. The show's about to end. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom! You hear CM Punk's music hit. They're in Chicago, the hometown of Punk.
Yeah.
Everybody loses their goddamn mind. And Punk is in WWE. We never thought we would see the day. There were rumors of this possibly happening, and then I was just like, there's no way it's gonna happen. Punk talks so much. He had so many issues with WWE. There's no way it's gonna happen. He hated Triple H. Triple H is running the creative. There's no way they're gonna do it. And hell froze over. We got Punk and WWE. So we do that. The show ends. Everybody loses their minds. It turns out that that same day as the pay per view, that morning is when they signed the contract to have Punk come back to WWE.
Damn.
That's how soon it was. That same morning. Yeah, hell has frozen over. And then we move on to Monday Night Raw, the day after the pay per view or 2 days after the pay per view, where Punk speaks. And it's interesting because Punk, he goes out there. They wait till the very end of the show, and he goes out there and he's getting ready to talk, and he says two words. He says, "I'm home." And it's one of those things where it's kind of just like some people are like, "That's great, Punk's back home." I'm gonna be perfectly honest. When I heard him say that, it felt very disingenuous.
Mm.
After years of what WWE did to him, how he felt about WWE, all the stuff he said
Yeah,
about
yeah.
WWE, for him to consider that place home, it just doesn't make the sense. Like even when he went to AEW, when his first speech, when he spoke, he literally said, he's like, "I left wrestling in let's just say 2006 when he started WWE. I'm just throwing numbers out there." And then he counts his time in WWE as not even wrestling. And then he's like, "I came back to wrestling in 2021 or whatever when he went to AEW."
Yeah.
So literally his entire stint in WWE, he's like, "I don't even count that." And now it's home. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's just like it's so weird, and it's just like
Well, it's performative, you know. He has to.
exactly, but it's like some people are just like, "Hey, is it maybe he does feel that way?" Maybe, like they say backstage, he was in good spirits, he got along with people. Other people said, "Yeah, he has to because of everything else that's going on." It's just like, "Hey, you have to
Yeah.
be on your, on your game. You have to be nice to people." There were rumors that even in his contract, there's like a behavior clause
Oh
that,
shit.
yeah, because it's like, "Hey, don't bring that bullshit over here." When he first showed up, like Seth Rollins, who was like one of the world champions of WWE, was pissed. Like he was shouting and turn. I mean, it looks like it's storyline stuff. I don't think it's legit, but he was like shouting, cursing into the mic. Drew McIntyre, this was off screen, was pissed about something in the night. Everybody speculates CM Punk. He left the show and just fucking just walked out. Like didn't say anything. Like he just left the show pissed at the end of the night. Um, yeah, and he could have been just throwing shade when he's AEW. That's 100% valid. So it's like it's one of those things, but it's like only Punk knows what is true and what's
Yeah.
not true.
What
So
he
at the
meant
end of
by
the
it.
day, yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about like, hey, if he's going in here, he's putting on great performances, and they move on and they have great things. That's awesome. At the end of the day, that's what we want. We want the best product out of every wrestling show we can get. In my opinion, the last thing he said was the most genuine thing, where he had the mic down. He's just like, "Hey, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money." I was like, "That's Punk."
There
That
we
sounds
go.
like CM Punk to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got that. But that's not where PBW ends because there's some conspiracies going on, guys.
Oh. That's a good
So
one.
yeah, so basically, contracts for television shows are going to be up soon. In 2024, and contracts for many wrestlers as well. But I'm going to focus on the shows. So, first off, NXT is moving to the CW. It's no
Oh.
longer going to be on the USA Network, and CW is going to actually have something worth watching for a change.
Oh wow.
And yeah, NXT is going to be on there. So they're leaving USA. They're going to CW, and we also have another move. SmackDown is going from Fox to USA.
Okay.
So
Isn't
it was
that
a big
back
deal
home?
when it went to Fox. What's that?
Isn't that back home?
Honestly, SmackDown's been all over the place. I remember it was back when it
Okay.
was on UPN, it was on Spike TV, it might have been on USA, it was on I couldn't even tell you. There was so many channels.
Yeah.
Damn, they just passing around that.
Yeah, when Cody smashed the throne. But yeah, no, yeah, so there's been a couple reports that these companies are like moving shows and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or these shows are moving to different channels rather. And then we know that there's a contract for TNT or Warner Brothers Media, where they have AEW, and that's supposed to be ending soon. And WWE is like the biggest wrestling game in town, so we're trying to see like, okay, where are they gonna go with Monday Night Raw? So this is where we come into play with the conspiracy. What if WWE was just like, hey, what if we went on to Warner Brothers Discovery and went on that channel? the same channel that AEW is on. And
Uh-huh.
in all of WWE's contract clauses, they have this thing where you can't have a wrestling show on there other than WWE products.
Yeah.
So if they were to go over there, AEW no longer has a TV channel.
Uh-huh.
And that's a great way for WWE to kind of just like, okay, AEW isn't on TV. We could kind of just run the whole game. Now, maybe they'll do that. Maybe they won't. Warner Brothers had good, relationships with AEW. But there was this one comment that Punk had said when he was in AEW where what's the name of the guy who's the head of the Warner Brothers Media? Islam? Is it David Zaslav? Is that him?
Yeah.
I could be mistaken, but I believe at one point Punk was doing this promo and he said when he came back from the first fight he had with the Elite, where he was like, "Hey, so they're going to create this whole new show and it's basically surrounded around Punk." That's when they came up with the idea for Collision. It's AEW's other show, and it was supposed to be the CM Punk show. Like that was his show, and the people he wanted to work with was on there. Like they did all that for him. And then he was like, "Yeah, they like me so much they call me One Bill Phil," meaning that they're willing to pay $1 billion for CM Punk. Real name Phil Brooks.
Yeah.
Now that CM Punk is in AEW, I mean in WWE, if this is true and if they really like CM Punk and he's on Monday Night Raw and Monday Night Raw doesn't have a channel to go on and contract is almost up with AEW, what's to stop Warner Brothers Discovery from just saying, okay, yeah, put Raw in here? Punk.
Ah,
You
very
know what I'm
true.
saying? So it's like
Yeah.
there's a lot going on. I did see
A
some
lot of
reports.
chess moves.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I tell you conspiracy theory, and here's a picture of that Tony Khan. I found it. I was like, this is funny. But yeah, and if that happens, like what happens to AEW? Where are they going to go? Are they going to go on a streaming service like people have speculated for the past couple of years, like Max? Do they try to find a network
Well,
somewhere?
they can't go on Max because that's Warner Brothers.
You're right, but it's not a TV channel.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's like there's so many different playing parts, like a lot of like moving pieces. I did read something today. As I was putting this together, I was just like, it kind of just like supposedly Nick Khan, the guy who's the president of JDB now, he supposedly was in a meeting with people from Warner Brothers. Rumor has it that they shut it down. They're like, no, we want to stay with AEW. I don't know how accurate that is. I don't know if I don't think anything's set in stone just yet. But I think as of right now, AEW should be good to
Uh,
stay on, Warner Brothers channels, that being TNT, TBS, stuff like that. But we don't know. And if that's the case, they're gonna. I mean, I'm sure USA, NBC Universal would love to keep Raw on USA. That might be like their most watched show on USA. I mean, what's on there really? Right
yeah.
now, it's Raw, NXT, and every rerun of Law and Order SVU you could think of.
Yeah,
Those are the only
true.
things on that channel.
I don't even know. I haven't watched that channel in like almost a decade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like that's all there ever is on there. It's like I know it's Law and Order because that's where my dad watches Law and Order, and then it's like when it's not Law and Order, it's wrestling. I
Yeah.
don't know what else is on there. I mean, it
Probably
is what it
reruns
is.
of other shows.
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. So it's like I think we're good. Hopefully, like we're able to. That's a funny one. A lot of people get Nick and Tony Khan confused, both having the same last name. One guy runs AEW, the other runs WWE. Yeah, they're very different guys. But yeah, but at the end of the day, I hope that there's still, you know, wrestling from different companies available on other networks. Hell, I want some TV channel to have like updated New Japan Pro Wrestling in the US. I feel like
Well,
that's
the
just a great
streaming
market.
services should get on that and get
Well, you have
bring
New
the
Japan World.
overseas.
That's yeah, NJPW World is where you watch New Japan. And they put them on some channels, but it's like usually like a month behind. It's not even like
Yeah,
up to
but
date
I'm just
stuff.
saying, like, if they should have like an American streaming service get the rights to show their stuff, like the new stuff here in America.
Yeah, I mean, I would kill for that.
I
But
know a
it's like,
lot of wrestling fans would.
oh yeah. But I mean, between that, I mean, if I could get, and as crazy as it sounds, maybe I mean, New Japan is what it is. Give us Stardom at the very least, like the Joshi Pro Wrestling, like that's the Japanese women. I don't think there's any promotion that's more hard hitting and more badass than Stardom. Like the way these women fight, it's like I've never seen anybody fight the way they fight. It's so intense.
Yeah.
It's so violent. They do some of the craziest moves I've ever seen. Is these little Japanese women. They're just so badass. And a bunch of them get hired by these other companies, WWE and AEW and whatever, like TNA and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like that's a show. I mean, at the end of the day, I've been saying, I want to see more wrestling out there from different companies. I love WWE. I'm always going to love WWE. but it's always nice seeing other companies as well, with a different style and stuff like that. I'm still going to watch my WWE. I'm going to watch my AEW, New Japan, Stardom, TNA, all of it. I'm going to watch everything. But I just want more variety. I want it to be out there. I really don't want one to knock out the other, but it is what it is. And hopefully I'm not going to have that face that Tony Khan has. I don't want to be like that one day. But yeah, that's what I got for wrestling. So there it is.
Nice.
Powerbomb not weekly.
Um.
He
Alrighty,
looks like he
Disco.
just shat himself in that picture. He's like trying to play it
He
cool with
looks
the
like he
conversation.
let a fart out, and he's like, "Whoop, that's not a fart." Um, Disco, do you have anything you want to cover this week?
No, not really. I don't have anything set up.
All right, sounds good. Um, all right, then I guess we are done for the week. Any final thoughts in general you guys
Happy
want to
birthday,
discuss?
Henry, if he's
Happy
there.
birthday, Henry.
Happy birthday, Henry.
I
Yeah,
don't know
happy
if we
birthday,
said that
Henry.
before,
Jack,
but
thanks for chiming in the chat. Much appreciated. We always like to see.
no, yeah, that was fun.
I don't even know what the word is. I'm so tired.
Engagement.
Thank you. That's
Yes,
what it
there we
is.
go.
Appreciate it, man. You're on the West
Got
Coast.
you.
It's not that
One
late.
of us.
Yeah,
True. That's true. I guess.
But yeah.
it's like past my bedtime here, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Final thoughts. If you guys haven't already out there, go watch that GTA 6 trailer. Check it out.
Yeah,
It's looking good.
go check it out.
It's Florida. The
I'm
Florida
very,
man's in it.
I'm very close to platinuming Spider-Man. Very close.
You're right there. You can get it. You can get it done.
Just very close.
One more sitting
I
and you
believe
got
in
it.
you.
One more
Probably.
sitting and you got it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, just knock it out.
You're right there.
100%.
What's next? I'm curious. What's your next game?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I did buy Morales. I might jump straight into that.
You sure you want to do it?
I don't know. But also, like, the other games I have are all pretty
They're
long.
all big.
Yeah, like
You got
it's
no mini
Horizon
one?
Forbidden West. And yeah, that's the only other game I have. I would have to jump on Xbox and see
I'm
what
That was a
sorry.
it's
Jack
long
like.
has
list.
like the
That was a
most
long
honest.
list.
Jack has like the most honest answer. He's like, hey, basically in response to the whole like, thanks for hanging out. Is like, yeah, no, thanks. I have no idea what you're talking about at the beginning of the show, but I hung in there. You're a trooper, man. Appreciate that so much. Thank you.
For real, that's
Um,
disclosure right there.
I know
What were we
I'm
talking
sure
about?
we lost a lot of people
We're
with our
talking about Invincible, or
shenanigans.
making the attempt to talk about Invincible.
And then the
Yeah.
fall of Usher and every other
And
little
Gout.
tangent that we had.
Yeah.
You missed it last week, Disco. Jack was in here as well, and Rudy was in here, and Henry, and they were just talking about like wrong orders they've
Yeah.
had from
Oh
like
yeah.
different
So
fast
Rudy
food
started it
restaurants.
off. He was like, I ordered a meatball sub and they sent me the bread.
Yeah, he literally just got the buns.
Yeah. So they pretty
No
much sent
meatballs.
they sent no meatballs,
I'll
no
be mad as
sauce, no
hell.
I think he
cheese,
said like
bro.
meatball sub with nothing on it, or nothing but the bread, something along those lines. And then he said a picture was legit just the
They
bread.
sent him garlic bread, bro. That's
They
literally
charge
what
him
they
full
sent him.
price too for bread.
And then Jack said, so, "Oh, what was Jack? I think he said,
Oh, the
he's like,
burgers. The
give me a burger with
was-
like just onions or something like that."
Yeah.
And then it was like literally just abundant onions.
Wow.
This
Wow.
is
You
like,
gotta be
and
specific.
we were just talking about stuff like that. I was like, we need to do a
these
whole episode
fast
dedicated to
food
something
people are
like that.
retarded.
Just messed up things. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's no meat. I would be so pissed. Oh
Fuck.
man, I think
They
something
better
like that
not have
happened to me once. I
charged
just
you
can't remember
full
what it
price
was.
for that no meat burger, bro.
Yo, for real.
I would have went inside, be like, give me my money back.
Yeah, I
You
want
can
half
have-
off some shit.
You can have 50 cents for this bun and onions. I want the rest of the money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we need to do a whole episode to that. Most of
yeah.
mine are going to
One
consist
time- one
of
time I
not giving
ordered
any sauces.
Chicken rings from White Castle, and I found a bone in the chicken ring.
Damn.
They didn't mess up my order, but I don't know. I felt like
Yeah,
that shit got me.
that's happened
Can't
something
even-
like that's happened to me
Can't
with
even
chicken
trust these
sandwiches.
nuggets these days.
That's happened to me with the chicken sandwich in McDonald's and at Wendy's.
Damn.
Bone. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel we're so fat we could talk about food for 45 minutes an hour just on the on the fly.
100%.
We gotta have a food episode.
We really do. Hang on. Jack says I went through the drive-through, went back in, and asked the lady if someone was messing with me, and I showed her what I got. She couldn't believe it. And he says I want White Castle here. White Castle's good. It's just I've always said it's like if I'm gonna eat White Castle, I need to be off from work and just staying home for the next 2 days.
I don't eat
It's
White
It just
Castle.
messes with my
I
stomach.
kind of want to give it
what?
a try now. I'm afraid what'll happen to me, but
You're too old.
because
Uh,
I
You
I
can't do
go
that
to
stuff.
I go to this place here called White Manna, and they have like sliders like White Castle,
Yeah,
but they make them fresh. Like the meat
I
is like
got you.
fresh, and it's like a smash burger. Like
Yeah,
it's so fucking good, bro. It's like some of the best sliders I've ever had. It's like a very famous, like little. It's like this little shoebox diner
yeah,
where there's like three seats inside,
yeah,
and it's some of the best sliders I've ever had. But I do want to go try White Castle. I might not be around next time
yeah.
we record because I ate
get a
White Castle,
Go
but
on vacation first.
we'll
Like
get a
find out.
fresh
you
rat
want to
burger.
schedule time out
Yeah,
for White
yeah.
Castle. It's like I just want to point out when you eat White Castle, the way the food smells is how you and everything that comes out of you smells.
Oh Lord, I
One
oh God, oh
one
no.
thing is, don't drink and have White Castle. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
In
I have.
Kentucky,
Well,
so the
closest to here, White Castle's is really like a New Jersey, New York thing.
oh okay, so
Yeah.
damn, there's not even one in the state. Holy shit.
No, definitely not.
We get
Well,
we
you know,
get
it's like
fake
you
we get
guys don't have
fight
Bojangles up there either.
Hey,
fake White
listen, bro.
Castles. So if you go to the supermarket, they have like
You can buy it
pre-frozen
in the like the frozen
The
ones.
fr-
sliders.
Yeah.
Listen, man, this is a good business opportunity for you and Jack, bro. Go in together in a franchise, open a White Castle down in wherever the fuck you guys live. I forget.
You always forget. Say which one you
It's
don't
one of
think
the
it is.
Dakotas.
Say which one
It's
you don't
South.
think the
It's South.
Dakotas.
It's South
You're not.
Carolina.
Oh, the Carolinas, right? That's right. That's
Damn, he said Dakota. He meant it though. He meant that Dakota.
Confident.
because I was
No,
just like,
no,
it's north and south, and the first thing that comes
that's
to mind is
crazy.
like Dakota.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
listen,
That's
man.
the other side of the country.
He's
Listen,
like
bro.
South Korea.
That's closer to Disco,
That's
who's in California.
that's listen, I like what's his face?
You got it. I'm not helping you out.
Mr. Clean.
Dakota Fanning.
No. Static
Who's from
Shock, there you go.
Dakota.
Static Shock.
Oh, okay. He's from Dakota.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
He
understand the
is, he
reference.
is. He is.
He is.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember he
His
took a
story's
trash can
set
lid.
in Dakota. All right. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you, Jack, for joining us. We appreciate uh
If you're still here, man,
your
you're
comments.
real
Yeah, because
trooper.
he wrote not even close. Like look at this.
He
Like when
really
I
said
said
the
the
Dakotas.
Dakotas.
Like I'm mad when you were talking about the Koreas. Like North is the bad one, right? Just in case
Yes,
you weren't
yes.
sure. Okay.
Yes, I know North is the bad one. All right, thank you everybody for listening to another episode of Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you hear, don't forget to follow us on social media, like, subscribe, share, rate, review. Thank you for listening, and have a great week.